Hey, this is John. I decided to do a short little product demonstration slash review of landing pads. So these are the two pads side by side with the DJI Mini 2 on top of them. Here they are on the ground. So we'll just take off real quick and give you a few different vantage points of taking off and landing with them. So at this point, we're going to go up to about 50 feet first. And so this is what it looks like at 50 feet above ground level. So now we're going to go to 100 feet, and then I'll freeze and give you another snapshot of what it looks like from the controller. So that's what you'll see from the controller, just to kind of give you a comparison. And so this is switching back to the video on the drone. And I'm going to go up to 150 feet. And just to give you a quick little snapshot of what it's going to look like on the controller. And remember, this is what you're going to see on your tablet or your phone. So this is the shot. And you can see I've circled the AGL there in the corner. So at this point, we'll come back down, and you can see the level of difficulty, even with the Mini. I couldn't imagine doing this with the Mavic Inspire or one of the larger drones, but for the Air 2, the Air, and the Air 2S, as well as the Mini 2, Mini 2 Pro, and the new Mini 3. I think the smaller one, the folding one, will work out quite well. It may be a bit difficult. The one that you twist and stow is going to be a lot easier because you can just see that it's much larger in size. These pads have two sides to them. The side that I have up is the orange side, and then the other side is basically an inversion of the colors. So we got a little drift here from the wind. I'm trying to be as precise as possible, so I'm using the crosshairs on the controller to try and get the H dead middle. So at the end, you'll see that I've got about a 7 mile an hour crosswind. So what happens here, if you're not familiar with the DJI drone, is it'll gimbal from looking straight down, just so you don't land on the camera. It'll come back to level when it gets down to about 2 feet or so. So here we go again. And since this one's smaller, it's a little harder for me. A little bit of drift, and then finally I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna land it. So that's the video of me landing on pads. I would say that the larger one obviously is a little bit easier. The smaller one, of course, it's going to be a little bit harder. You could see the drift from the wind. I have 24, well now I have 20 GPS satellites. So that little bit of correction you saw going on there was more than likely just due to wind. The wind's pretty light today, so I wasn't thinking it was going to affect it too much. But then again, I usually don't do precision landings. I don't try to hit a pad this small. Also, I usually fly with my larger drone, the Air 2. So the smaller one, is going to be affected more by wind. It's got smaller props, whatnot. As far as the CineSticks, so I just added these. I bought 2 pair. They give you 2 sets of these pads.
So the way that it goes together is there's a rod. So the rod goes on first. So the rod screws in first. So you take out your sticks, you put in the new rod, then this goes on second. Then there's a cap which goes on next, and then you have the thumbstick. Whoa. To tighten this, you just turn it clockwise, and you keep turning it clockwise until it gets about as stiff as you want it. And then if you go too stiff, then you pinch the collar and then you unscrew it, because otherwise, if you don't do that, you're basically just unscrewing it from the gimbal inside. So the packaging does come with a warning to not do more than 80% travel in any direction. And near as I can figure, what's happening is when you go more than about 80%, because of this coming in contact with the edge, and yet this still trying to push that way, it maybe is trying to pull the ball up and out, so it's going to slowly cause damage to the internal part of the ball that gimbals. So yeah, that was my first flight with it. And you definitely have to relearn the resistance. I think I had this one almost too tight, because I was actually starting to get fatigued, which usually I can fly this thing for like a good half hour and I have zero fatigue. But I'm going to play with the other one, because they give you two of these. They're different material. Maybe not different material, but different sponginess, if you will. And so maybe I'll swap that out and figure out which one I like the best. I might just leave this one off, because I have mine in stick mode 3, which means that this goes left, right, or turns left, turns right, and then this goes up, this goes down. Whereas this moves left, moves right. So I don't know, maybe in stick mode 3 I'll leave these both on, but I definitely found myself not too happy with this one being harder, but definitely being happy with this one, because this is the one that makes the video jerky if I'm not smooth with it. The only thing I didn't really test that I had meant to test was release. Supposedly it's just as dampening to start as it is to finish. I don't think that's true. I think it's more subconscious, because most people don't go like that. They'll come back. Yeah, there's definitely more resistance coming back. So yeah, I'm happy with them. They were a little over 20 bucks. I just got two, one for each controller. So yeah, they're good. The landing pads, so when you're done with your flight, let's see if there's more than one way to do this. There is. So that's the way to do it, because you could feel that there was less resistance on the binding. I don't know. Whoops. And then this guy. So you're done with this, you just put it in here. It comes with loops, comes with anchors to go through the loops. So if you're in something porous, you can hammer it in. I did, but I remembered everything, but no hammer, and the ground was too hard to put the stakes into. And there's the 3 stakes.